Amy Winehouse, dumber than a rock. An examination.
Welcome to the Gradual Report, where we gradually report.
To prove that Amy Winehouse is dumber than a rock, we need to establish two things. One, that rocks have conscious thought. And two, that Amy Winehouse does not have conscious thought. To establish that rocks have conscious thought, we need to examine a theory of panasnerisms. Not its actual pronunciation, basically saying that every single atom that floats around in the universe has a tiny little bit of a conscious thought. The existence of thought in a rock! How is this possible? Well, let's take a look at thought in general. Your brain is a conglomeration of atoms. This conglomeration is basically a bunch of axions and neurotransmitters that talk to each other. And in this talking to each other, thoughts. Okay, you see something, therefore you think it, right? The atoms in your brain reacting to some stimulus from outside your body. On a basic level, on a fundamental level, on a very small, very micro level, that's all it is really. Just a bunch of atoms just jiggling around in your brain. Now let's take a look at a rock. Imagine that you're a rock, and there's electromagnetic waves coursing through your rockiness. Okay, and that causes your atoms to slightly realign themselves and be a different. And in that slight shift, what we're actually seeing is a rock thinking. The bonds between the atoms inside the rock actually reacting to the forces from outside the rock. Bang! That's where the thought happens. A rock just kind of hangs out. You know, it doesn't need to run around and procreate. It doesn't need to procreate. Let me smell your dick. Let me smell your dick. It doesn't need to do that to survive. Its essence of rock is just kind of like being. It's just totally contemplative. Okay, so we've just proven that a rock can sort of think. The second part of this analysis requires that I show that Miss Winehouse is unable to match the thought of a rock. But if we could just take a sidestep for a second and actually think about that. I just proved that rocks can think on the atomic level. Surely I can prove that Miss Winehouse can think. But let's not hold Miss Winehouse to the standard of thinking that rocks employ. Rather, let's hold her to the standard of thinking that human beings employ. Can she hold a conscious linear thought? Unfortunately, Miss Winehouse could not be reached to comment on this report. So I will have to rely almost entirely on an interview she recently did with Bender magazine. The interaction between the interviewer at Bender and Miss Winehouse can only be described as raping a dying ghost. Due to advances in copyright infringement on the internet, I can't read you the article, but I can infer, based on the article, how Miss Winehouse conducted herself. There's ginger in my hair! Naomi is my stylist, and she put blonde, not ginger in my hair. I need blonde. Let me light a cigarette. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for the interview. I'm sorry about all. I take anti, but you know, what? No. There's the grandmothers and puppy dogs. You have relationships with them, but you don't ever want to climb onto one. Ever. What's wrong with me? I'm on heroin. I can't make it stop. Who are you? You're here. Am I here? I've just concluded, scientifically, that when taken in their weighted averages of their species, Amy Winehouse is dumber than a rock. High fives all around, team.